The Dougla Parrot here again. Henna, political analysts got Caribbean fever. First, they thought the Unity Labour Party in Vincent might scrape a win, and then bam, the NDP wiped them out 14-1. Now, Barbados Labour Party looks set to take all 30 seats. But is this so-called crystal ball actually crystal or just cracked? Let's break it down. Remember the 2025 Vincent election? Analysts like Peter Wickham talked about a competitive race that could go either way. And while there were hints the UILP might cling on, the reality was a historic NDP landslide that few predicted. The party captured 14 of 15 seats. Only Gonsalves held on. That's not just a close election. That's a political earthquake. Wickham even captured that moment with a very dramatic line on social media. Looks like a giant has fallen in Vincent. But the big critics ask, did the analysis really anticipate that collapse? Or were we just talking trends instead of hard predictions? Fast forward to Barbados. The Barbados Labour Party under the Prime Minister Motley has 2 historic clean sweeps under its belt already. And recent surveys shows that the BLP leading in 30 constituencies ahead of the February 11 elections. They say polling has the ruling party about 78% support versus 17% for the opposition DLP. That's basically another possible clean sweep. Wickham has not exactly predicted 30-0 again outright, but he has said the BLP is favoured to win the election. The real battle may not be win or lose, but how many people actually show up to vote. And that voter turnout is the key wildcard, not simply dissatisfaction with the government. Here's the spicy part. Wickham has cautioned that just because people are unhappy about cost of living or crime doesn't automatically mean they'll vote against the incumbent. The opposition has to convince them they're actually the better alternative. That's sharply different from predicting a clean sweep. In Vincent, many thought it would be close. Some thought the incumbent ULP might hold, but the actual result was much worse for the ULP than general sentiment suggested. That makes people question the real predictive power of analysis. Early indicators from polls are showing one party dominating all seats, and analysts like Wickham acknowledge major trends, but he isn't guaranteeing a perfect sweep. He's focused on structural realities, weak opposition, voter apathy, and tactical timing of the early election. So here's the million-dollar question. Is Wickham still on the analytical throne, or has the prediction train derailed into fantasy land? In Vincent, the analysis talk possibilities, not certainties, and the reality delivered a spectacular upset. In Barbados, strong polling trends align with the expectation of a major BLP victory, but the analysts are clear that the voter emotion and turnout still matter. That means the analysis hasn't completely lost its bearings. It's just that public interpretation of the analysis often assumes certainty where none existed. No crystal balls, just trend reading. The politics of the Caribbean can flip on a dime. One election shock doesn't make every future prediction wrong, but it just makes us demand clearer lines between opinion, trend, forecast, and prediction. Are analysts guiding us, or are we reading into them what we want to see?